new episode of Gourmet Home Recipes with Damien Track. Today's episode is an extended episode. We're not going to do one dessert, but two desserts back to back. First dessert is going to be cream caramel, followed by chocolate mousse. Christmas is around the corner. Let's get started. Okay guys, so for the cream caramel ingredients today, we're going to need 150 grams of custard sugar, 2 tablespoons of water. For the custard components, we're going to need 2 drops of vanilla essence, but today I'm using vanilla bean paste, so I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of that. You're going to need 150 grams of sugar, which is using custard sugar, 375 ml of milk, so 1.5 cups of milk. We're going to use the same thing for the cream, so 375 ml of cream, which is also 1.5 cups, and you're going to need 6 eggs, so about 50 grams each will do. Okay guys, so for the caramel component, so on a medium heat, we want to add all the sugar. So just add all the custard sugar in there, and you're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of water, and that's all you need. So just keep it on a medium heat and just let it dissolve until you want a golden brown color to it, and that's what you're looking after. That's what you're looking for. Okay guys, so our caramel mixture is coming just nicely. So as you can see, it's golden brown, so we make sure you don't burn it. And if you want to mix the sugar with the water, don't use a wooden spoon, just swirl the pot around so it dissolves evenly. And so this is the color and mixture you want. So it's a nice golden brown color. So now we're ready to pour this the caramel mixture into the ramekins now. Okay guys, so we now finished our cream caramel mixture. So now you want to pour the caramel into the ramekins and make sure you get all cover the bottom part. So just give it a little swirl, and that's what it should look like. So making sure you cover all the bottom and nothing's missing. Yep, and that's how you want it. And repeat the steps for the other ramekins. Okay guys, so we're going to make our custard component now. So in a pot here I've already added 1.5 cups of thickened cream. So to that cream I'll be adding, you want to add 375 ml of milk, or 1.5 cups of milk. And today I've got vanilla bean paste, like I said. So I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon to that. So we want this to boil. So as soon as it boils, bring it off the heat straight away. Okay guys, so this is the second part of our custard component. So in here I've already cracked 6 eggs, and part of that I'm going to add 150 grams of custard sugar. So we are going to beat the eggs with the sugar until it becomes light and fluffy. So on a medium speed, I'm going to slowly add the custard sugar. And just beat it until it is light and fluffy. It'll take a couple of minutes. Okay guys, so this is what you're looking for after you beating your eggs. So as you can see, it's frothed up a bit and it's quite light and fluffy. So this is the consistency you would want to achieve. So as you can see, as I'm lifting it up, it's really frothy and light, and that's what you guys want. Okay guys, so here our milk, it's nearly coming to the boil. So when it comes to the boil, I'm just going to put it off the stove and set it aside to cool down for a little bit, just so we don't scramble the eggs when we add this to the egg mixture. So it's getting there, so remember when it starts boiling, turn off the heat straight away and put it aside to cool down. Okay now guys, so now we're ready to pour in the milk into our egg mixture. So you want to add milk a little bit at a time, just so you don't cook the eggs. So making sure you whisk really fast and while you pour the milk mixture in. So remember the milk mixture is still pretty warm and you want to keep whisking really quick so you don't curdle the eggs. So now you can slowly add the milk in but whisk really fast at the same time. So as you can see, my egg isn't curdling, so make sure you do it slowly, no need to rush. So you want to keep whisking and just whisk for a couple more seconds and it should be ready. Okay guys, so we've let our custard mixture cool down for a bit after adding the milk. So now we're going to decant through the sieve. So just to catch any coagulated egg white we don't want. So just slowly. So I'm decanting into a jug just because it makes it easier to pour into the ramekins later. So like so. And we'll just let that settle down for a bit and go through the sieve. Okay, so the caramel mixture has cooled down a bit. What I've done is I put them in the freezer just to quicken in the process. So now we're going to add our egg custard mixture into our ramekins. So you want to fill up to the rim. Not to the rim, but just close to it. About that much will do. So you repeat the process for the other ramekins. So just boil them like that. Okay, so in a preheated oven at 160 degrees, we're going to add our water mixture. So fill up about halfway of the ramekin. I've got a tea towel underneath the ramekin because I don't want the mixture to burn at the bottom too quickly. So the tea towel will help distribute the heat and cook the cream caramel evenly. So you just want to pour the water up to about halfway through the ramekins. This will help the cream caramel to cook evenly. So that's about halfway there. And you want to cook the cream caramel for about 30 minutes, or just touch it at the 30-minute mark. So you want to put your hand on top of the custard and see if it wobbles a little bit. And we're ready to go. So I took the cream caramel in the oven for after 40 minutes. So 30 minutes wasn't enough, so I put it there for another 10 minutes and it worked out fine. So I've let the cream caramel to cool down outside the oven and before flipping them out. So before you flip them out, you want to get your knife and run around the edge of the ramekin and then onto a plate, flip it over. And so this is the end result. So I'm just gonna, you see how wobbly it is, that's how it should be. If it doesn't wobble, then you know if you've overcooked it. But since it's wobbling, that's a good consistency and a good indication that it's worked out well. So I'm just going to dig in a little bit and see how it is. So you see that wobble, it looks good. It's really good. So that's worked out well, I'm pretty happy. So thanks for watching part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for the second part, which we are going to make our chocolate mousse. Alright guys, this is our extended episode of desserts. So we're not doing one dessert, we're doing 2 desserts back to back. So this is our chocolate mousse recipe. So obviously we're going to need 2 eggs. We're going to use the egg whites only, so we don't use the yolks. We're going to use a whole bottle of cream and about 200 to 250 grams of milk chocolate. You can use dark chocolate if you want, or white chocolate. But today I'm just going to do a normal milk chocolate mousse recipe. So let's get started. Okay guys, so here I've got 2 eggs that I've separated the egg yolks from the egg whites. So we're going to use the egg whites only. So you want to beat it up until it becomes light and fluffy. So it'll take about a couple of minutes. So guys, so now we've finished beating our egg whites. So this is to stiff peaks. So it should stay on the whisk, and that's how you want it to be. And that's, we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to beat our cream until stiff peaks as well. Okay, now we're going to whisk the cream until stiff peaks. So like the eggs, just beat it until when you lift up the whisk they hold the form. So in a bowl, we put the cream in, and then we're going to just beat it until it becomes stiff. Okay, so I've been beating the cream for about 5 minutes now, and we have got stiff peaks. So as you can see, the cream is stuck to the whiskers, so that's fine. Leave that aside, and now we're going to melt the chocolate in the double boiler. Okay, so we've got a double boiler running here. So I put a bowl over a pot with a bit of water. So on a low simmering heat, you want to add the chocolate blocks and just leave it there until it's melted. So you want to slowly melt it, you don't want to rush the process. So give that about 10 minutes and we'll come back and check on it. Okay guys, so I've melted the chocolate down already. So this is how you want it. Just as soon as it melts, it's good to work with. So you want it to take off the heat and just let it cool down just a tiny bit so it doesn't cool the cream. That's essentially what you want, a nice silky texture on the chocolate. So I'm just let that cool down, and then we'll move on to the next step and put it in the cream. Okay, so I'll let the chocolate cool down a little bit so it doesn't curdle the cream. So now we're going to add about a half of it in, and you want to fold it in the cream. So not beating the heck out of it, just using a folding motion. So just do it slowly. So I'm going to fold the cream and the chocolate together. So just okay, so when I originally said to add about 250 grams of chocolate, but it wasn't sweet enough to my tasting, so I've added about an extra 100 grams to it. So in total you're going to have to add about 350 grams of milk chocolate to this recipe. So this is our egg white that I've beaten until soft bake. So you want to add all the egg white in. So just add it in and just gently mix it in the mousse. This will give it a aerated texture to the mousse, which will be not light and fluffy. So when you have combined the mixture, it is ready to go into a glass and then put into the fridge. Okay guys, so this is the end result of our chocolate mousse. What I've done is put it in a wine glass and it's filled it up and sprinkled with some chocolates and strawberries to it. So now I'm going to dig into it. It looks really, really fluffy to me, so it's going to taste really good, I hope. That's really light and fluffy. It's really good dessert. So I present you the chocolate mousse. It's a great dessert for Christmas. If you're running out of ideas, this is a perfect dessert to make. It doesn't take long at all. And you're going to be surprising your guests with a good chocolate mousse. Hope you enjoy, guys, and thanks for watching.